How's everybody doing today? This is Eric Latshaw with Honest Home Solutions, and I am here with a partner that we work with very closely, Nick Feudale with the Nick Feudale team of Keller Williams. Today, we wanted to go over a few things that individuals have reached out to me and asked questions about, and I wanted to give you how to run a comp correctly. And when I say comp, is what I want you to look at is comparative market analysis. There is many individuals that can do this without MLS access, but what I can tell you about that is you're probably doing it wrong because you probably don't have all the information that's needed. Real relationships aren't built fake facade. Trust, integrity, fun are core values that we hold on to. Nick is our expert in real estate that works with us. He lists all of our properties. We have a great relationship with him. We trust the numbers that he brings to us as Honest Home Solutions. So my goal is to let you guys see the correct way to run a comp on the MLS. With that, we also know that as a wholesaler or someone that is out there that doesn't have access to the MLS, that you use things like Zillow. How do you feel about Zillow, Nick?
I feel Zillow could be...
That's not how you run your comps?
Nope, definitely not how I run my comps. Zillow's estimate could be a little inaccurate,
sure,
or very inaccurate. Sometimes, you can get close, but an exact comp or something that's sold recently in the area is going to be the best way to come up with value.
Sure. So we know that it can be difficult if you don't have access to the MLS, but it is really important, in my opinion, to align yourself with somebody that if you don't have access to the MLS has access for you. And so Nick is that individual that we use and that we have built a relationship with, and that you have to build a trust like working together, because you guys are going to have to communicate often to get where you need to go if you're operating at a high level and you're buying quite a few properties. The biggest thing that I would say outside of that you need them for, even before you attend the appointment, is to figure out what houses have sold for in the area that might have been distressed. So what I do sometimes is me and Nick sit down and we will look for properties that are within what's the vicinity that we usually use?
Usually go up to a half mile. It always depends on, some houses are far and few in between. At that point you want to, stretch the mileage a little more. If you're in an area where they're closer, you can go a quarter mile to a half mile.
Okay, so within a half mile radius, we sit down and we put those together, and what we try to do before I attend the appointment is not just find out the adjusted retail value or ARV, but we also try to find out what distressed properties in that area have sold for, so that you have an idea and evidence and proof to speak with the seller, so that they can see that, yes, maybe these properties have sold for higher in their neighborhood, but the ones that have deferred maintenance or need work, those are the ones that you need to be able to present to them, so you can see that other individuals that either do what you do have bought those properties for in a time, in the past. How long do we usually go back? About 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, 6 to 12 months.
Okay.
That's a pretty good comp.
6 months is better.
That's typically what an appraiser is going to use.
Sure.
Up to 12 months.
Nice. So up to 12 months is where we use, pull those comparative market analysis from. And Nick he finds us not just the adjusted retail value of what it looks like when it's renovated, but also what those properties sell for once or have sold for in the past, if they had deferred maintenance, need repairs, or updates. A lot of those will be cash or conventional sales, and you'll be able to see that in the MLS. So first and foremost, we would say don't use Zillow. They have no idea what those properties look like on the inside. This is just a bunch of information really thrown together by sales and the algorithm that they throw together. They have no idea of condition. They don't know what's going on within those four walls. So it's really, really difficult for them to make a decision. So Nick, outside of Don't Use Zillow, how about you just show them exactly what you do to find the information that we need to operate at the level that they're hoping to operate?
Yeah, sounds good. As Eric was saying, it is really important to use the MLS if you can. Reach out to an agent, that can help, but you're going to get your best comps there. Typically, what I do is I will go up to a half mile first, and I just have a property today that I'm going to use in Red Lion. So I'll type in the location, and once that comes up, the property that I'm comping is a 3-bed, 1.5 bath. So you can see 6 matches came up. We go down here to the status, and we want to look up stuff that's pending and stuff that may have expired as well and closed. Right now we have 18, so we are comping a 3-bedroom. So typically I'll click 3 and above. Bathrooms 1 and above as well. This is a detached home, and anything else that is important to you as far as maybe there's it's a half acre. At that point you would want to justify something that's close to the same size land, or 2,200 square feet. You want to comp something that's around the same size as well.
So you want to match house for house.
You definitely want to match
as close as you can.
As close as you can, absolutely.
So try to match bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, definitely should. Right now it's coming up with, say, 17, and even stories, 1-level rancher versus something that's, 2.5 story, 3+ story. Garages as well. You definitely want to make sure this one has a 2-car garage, so put total garage spaces as 2, and it took our comps from 17 down to 11. So then I would go ahead and click on the comps in the area, and what I like to do is there's a distance over here from the actual property you're comping. I like to click on that to show me what is the closest. So obviously 280 Larchery's up here, and you can see 755 Sterling Drive is now active. That's a 3-bed, 1.5 bath at $211,900. 222 Larchery you can see is a 3-bed, 2-bath detached as well, sold for $199. And again, if you're viewing this, you can kind of run down a list of comps here and compare the best you can to the property you are trying to get a comp for. 755 Sterling looks like a good one. Same style house, 2-car garage, and again it's listed at $211,900. And Larchery is currently pending. We don't know what it's pending at, but it was listed at $213,000. So that's kind of how I go about pulling some comps.
So pulling those comps. Now, if we were looking at that property, and I came to you, and this is why you need this relationship with an agent. If I came to you and said, hey, this is what we have off the property that you searched, we're going to do a full renovation on that property. What would you say my ARV on that property would be?
After viewing some of the pictures here on the property we're looking to comp, you can see it does have some updated carpet already, some refinished hardwood.
So it's important to look at the condition.
It absolutely is, because everything will change, whether it needs new flooring.
Sure.
Kitchen appliances, the condition they're in. These are older, so you put new appliances in, it's going to be better. Looks like this has Formica countertops, whereas if you go with granite or quartz, that's going to add some value as well. So it always depends. I know we when we typically sit down, we go over a renovation list.
Sure.
And at that time we're able to come up with a better idea of the ARV. You have older cabinets here. Some people may paint those and change hardware, whereas a lot of times we put new fresh cabinets in. So.
Sure.
It's definitely going to change on each property. This one is in fairly good condition. I would say you're looking at a max, ARV on this one of, 220, 225, depending on what you do. Again, it is, fairly updated, as you can see from the pictures.
Sure.
But there's a lot of different times you run into properties that aren't as updated as this, where the
Sure.
ARV would adjust substantially.
And for us, obviously when I sit with Nick and we look at this stuff, it's important if we can find, a property that was renovated. That's a really good idea of what you're going to look at. But if not, you find something that's been taken care of, well maintained, and has sold for those numbers. Now, if he comes and he says, hey, this could sell anywhere between $215,000 and $230,000, my suggestion to you would be to run your numbers off of that $215,000 number. Don't stretch your purchase price as a wholesaler or as a fix and flip individual based on the highest cost that you could get for that number, for that house. Because if you do, and you end up getting the lower number, you could be looking at a $15,000 deficit on the profit that you had planned on making. So always use the lower number. Always use the lower number and higher renovation number. That's the best way to do that. So, Nick, I truly appreciate you taking some time today and walking through this process. For everybody out there, just if you are running comps in this area or anywhere, this is always must-haves, and I think he spoke about all these. Don't use Zillow. You're just going to hurt yourself. You don't know. It could be a higher ARV or a lower ARV from what's on there, but you really need to build a relationship with an agent, or if you have access yourself so that you can use the MLS. Please run your comps within a half-mile radius, anything that can be found outside of that. And on top of that, I would say same school district as well.
Typically.
If it's right on the edge, take a look, but I'd say to really follow same school district. Pending or closed searches in the past 6 to 12 months. Please don't go too don't go too far back. 18, 24 months, things change. The market changes. Make sure that it's within the 6 to 12 months. Match up your properties. Make sure you're not pulling, a rancher if you have a colonial. Design. How many garages there is, if there's outbuildings, try to match them up. How many bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage. If you can follow up on all of those things and get as close as possible to what you're hoping to have there, it'll be very important. And then last but not least is once you find those properties, once you've matched them, you've seen if they're pending or closing, they're in a 0.5 mile radius, look at condition. Take a look at the pictures that are available from the sale of the property. See what it looks like. Does it need work? Is it updated? Is it renovated? And those are big things that will help you while you're running comps and making sure that you have the best idea of what the adjusted retail value is. And also as a wholesaler so that you can speak to others about what the house will be worth after they renovate it. And you can run your numbers with your seller at that point. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions about running comps, you can reach out to me directly at eric@honesthomesolutions.com. Check out our website at honesthomesolutions.com. And if you are looking to sell a house retail, you need somebody with a lot of knowledge, check out Nick Fudale with the Nick Fudale team at Keller Williams. Thank you guys so much, and you have a great day.
Thanks.